Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley, and today I have a repotting video all about my beautiful Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii here that is growing into a huge monster. The leaves on this plant are over 1 meter tall. They are amazing. And well, I've had this plant in my bedroom for the longest time and it's been doing so well, thrown up some new pups and spread out a little bit more. But some of these leaves are getting too heavy for the plant itself and they are flopping over. So if I should bring it in a little bit more like this, you can get the whole idea of what I mean. These leaves here are splaying out to the side. This one here is flopping at the front. There are leaves over on this side that are hanging out. This one is falling down. So if I can get in amongst this jungle, basically I need to split this plant into a couple of new pots so that I can get it standing up again. And I've been wanting to do this for some time because I would like to take some of this plant to my crystal cottage and I'd like to have some here. So I'm going to try, if I can get back around this side so you can see, and split off the new shoots and so forth, like this leaf that's lying down here from around the edge of the middle central area. I will try and break those off as much as possible to put into a separate pot and keep as much of the central part of the plant, those rhizomes, together so it will be easier for me to transplant them into a new terracotta pot and they will stand up because you can see they're standing up very well in the middle here. And then I can collect all the new pups and rhizomes and put them into another new pot. Any leaves that are hanging over like this, I will be doing propagations on because I've done that before and it's been a success and I'm going to show you that too in this video. So nothing is going to go to waste at all with this plant. So basically, I just need to get on with it. This plant, I bought it in this plastic pot. I've left it in this plastic pot. Haven't touched it at all. The plant has flowered out for me 2 seasons in a row, and that's been so beautiful to see. Lovely scented flowers. They can be quite strong, and I have them in my bedroom. I like the smell. Some people don't, but I like the smell. I think they're okay. They do get quite sticky, and they do fall off all over the place eventually, so just keep that in mind. But it's very interesting and exciting when you see a Dracaena plant like this flower out. It's not very often you get to see that in a normal house environment, somewhere where it's not a warm, kind of tropical and very bright area where these plants come from. We know that they come from places like Africa. This plant has been doing very well for me in the light that it's had from the window, and some of the leaves have got bigger and wider, some are long and thin. They have different tones and textures in them that I think is absolutely amazing. Some, when they come out as new, they look kind of grey and have a grey-green stripe along the edge. This big, beautiful one here is absolutely amazing with all the streaks that are going on in it. Some have streaks that go across so you can really see the trifasciata style. And then you have this lovely yellow border on all of the leaves. So before I do anything with the plant, I just want to take you in for a very quick closer look just so that you can see the different textures and styles of all the different unique leaves that are going on these plants in this beautiful colony here in this pot. Let's have that closer look. So I really hope you enjoyed the closer look. Now let's get on with pulling this plant apart. I'm really looking forward to this. So this is going to get really messy, and I don't care. So what I'm going to do is just pull it out of the pot. Any rhizomes that are on the edge that I can easily chop off, I'm going to do that, and then we'll see how much of the central part of the plant I can keep together and just place into a new beautiful terracotta pot. Now the terracotta pots that I'm putting them in, as you can see, not too big because these plants like to be pot bound as quickly as possible. That makes them happiest. And too much soil, of course, would be detrimental to the plant. If you overwater it, it will rot out. That is why I've decided to go terracotta this time. Now that I'm going to be splitting this plant up, I might as well go and put these in a pot so that I know that I'm on the safe side when it comes to watering. And you can see the pot is not much smaller than the original pot, so if that's the case, it's perfect to have this plant split into two of this size. I think this is going to be wonderful. So let's get on with getting the mother plant out of its plastic pot. So I'm hoping that I'm just going to be able to lift this plant out of this pot. I did go in and take this plant into my bathroom and I gave it a good shower over just before, because this plant has not been showered over for a long time. It was very dusty and it needed its leaves cleared off so that once it gets repotted and starts to reacclimatise, it will be able to photosynthesize as well and as much as it can. So that's very important. So it's very clean and tidy. Let's just get on with this. How am I going to? See if I can just lift first. That doesn't work, so I've got to lay it over. Oh, look how big this is. Pull it out of the pot. And the roots are at the bottom, so, oh, wow. It's a bit difficult. See. Oh, it's coming out though. Oh, that was good. Not too bad. Not too bad. Just need to get rid of this. So now that I've got it out of the pot, I can actually see what's going on here. These lovely rhizomes on the edge here. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to just either snap them off or just cut them off. Or, well, look at this one. This one is quite easily coming off. And I'm just going to get some scissors and basically just chop it off. So this one's here. Yes, that came off very easily. So look at that, one beautiful plant straight away, no problem. Just tidy off all the debris from the bottom and in between the leaves. This one had a flower stalk that's still on it, can take that off and tidy it out. Beautiful. So this will get a chance to just sit on the side here for a minute while I work with the rest of it. So I have a lovely one here as well. Look at this. Gorgeous. That snapped off easily by itself. A lovely leaf, thick leaf. Look at that. Take off the old leaves from the bottom, tidy that up. This one also flowered out, so it had a flower stalk still in the middle here. Take that out. So this plant will be able to be so beautiful in its new pot. Look at that, and the new roots and the leaf. Oh, this is so much fun. So that's the ones on the edge for that side. I'll turn it around to see what we've got going on the other side, around the edge. So we've got one here that's very beautiful. Try and get this one off as well. And they're just easily popping off. Look at this, another two-leaf plant. Beautiful. Really lovely. That's already, just those already, look at that. That is just one big beautiful plant already. Enough to go into a pot. I'm going to see how I do this. I might actually need to get some more pots. But I do want to keep that thick effect, so I don't want to take too much off. But all these little ones on the edge here, like this, I need to get off. So, another one, just a leaf, tidy up the bottom. This one has a little tiny bit of root and it seems like its rhizome is dehydrated actually. So I'll put that in amongst some others and just see how it does. What else do I have close to the edge here? I have one here, this leaf. So I just need to cut that rhizome off. Oh, no, this one snapped. Oh. guys, I just snapped this one, but that doesn't mean that this rhizome here is not going to survive, because look at this. This actually has a leaf inside, and I can just plant that and let it carry on. It will grow out again. This leaf here, I will propagate. So that's perfect. Tidy up the rhizome that I'm going to keep anyway. Just like this. All the old leaves and stuff. Oh, and it's showing me it's got lovely new roots growing out in this rhizome at the top as well. So that is absolutely fine. We'll leave that there. I have another one that looks a bit dehydrated here on the edge. I want to get this one out. This came out easily. Another leaf. Beautiful. Tidy it up. Lay it on the side. Done. What else have we got here? Let's just turn it around, see if there's any more. I just want to keep going around, as I said, and pull away from the edges and keep the central part together so it's disturbed as little as possible. We've got another leaf here, which is another whole plant of its own. I can feel that rhizome, yeah. Get my scissors, cut that back with some roots, 2 leaves, and there we go, another one. This one has hardly any roots. This one is quite dehydrated. We'll see how that does. So, we're getting, there's another one here that's pretty close to the edge that I actually want to get out. Yeah, lovely roots on that one too. Clean up the bottom. I mean, this is so many plants. I mean, basically, this is, every leaf is a new plant with a rhizome. So I could go on and on and on with this. So some more here that are on the edge that I'd like to get out. This one, oh, it's a bit stuck. How's this one looking? This one's got a big rhizome, 2 connections, and I need to cut those. One there, and one here. So that one's out, and it's clean at the bottom, so that's fine. So this one has a droopy leaf, and because of that, I'm probably going to do propagations on this one. So I will cut off so that I can keep the rhizome and plant the rhizome into a pot, and that will just grow out into a new plant. And this piece here will give me new Dracaena trifasciata leaves. They won't look like this. You know that when you propagate these Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii that have the yellow streak along the edge, they come out with just yellow and white streaks across the leaf. I will show you that in my propagations that I've done before, as I said. So they won't be looking like this, but I will get another type of plant, and it looks beautiful in its own right. So let's see what else is going on. We've got another one. This one, I just love this piece here. This leaf is just gorgeous. I'm going to take it out. I want to actually put this one in a pot on its own because I just love that leaf. And it's a big rhizome, I can feel. I actually have to cut it. Yeah. There we go. This is actually the leaf that you saw in the close-up that has the lovely yellow streaks in it. I actually think this is so gorgeous that I am going to, look at that leaf. I'm going to put that as a standalone plant and see how the younger leaves come out on this plant. So I want to keep that one separate, so I'll keep that up there for now. So how close are we getting to the middle? I've got, so there's another big one here I need to take off. This one also has a droopy leaf. So let's get in and cut that. Oh! Yeah, it's quite heavy because it had a lot of roots on this one. This one, again, I'm going to have to propagate this leaf here. It's too droopy. And the other leaf is standing up absolutely fine. So I'm going to cut off that one leaf straight away here, as far down as I can get. Which is down to here. So this piece I can keep and put into a new pot. It's got new leaves coming out on the edge, so that's wonderful. So this one leaf together with the other one that I was going to propagate that I've lost somewhere in the jungle here, that's fine. I can get lots of new plants out of this leaf. Lovely. So just leave it there. Oh, no, that wasn't. Yeah, that was my other propagation. And this is a really nice leaf. It's got a lovely patterning on it. And this one's got a much thicker yellow border on it. I hope you can see that. Lovely. I'll show you later. Right, how much have I got left to be able to put into one pot? I might as well take some more of these smaller ones off here. This one. Take that off. A little one here. Make a new plant out of that. And this little leaf here, I'm not sure about this leaf. I just think I need to take this leaf off of the plant. Yeah, I can propagate that leaf as well. Nice. So how far are we? This leaf is not going to stand up either. So I'm going to take that off as well and propagate that because I need the central part of the plant that I'm thinking of keeping to be able to stand up in its pot, right? Let's turn around a little bit again, see what we've got going on this side. Just want to tidy it up a little bit as I go along. There's been so much growth and so much detritus around the edge at the bottom here of these where they've had their flower stalks come out and so forth. Big piece there. Stand this up and have a look at what we've got going on. So, that's thinned out. Okay, so I've got this one that I definitely need to take out because it's got a droopy leaf. Don't want that one in my pot. Oh, that came off easily. No detritus on the bottom. And it is, that one has a little bit, that one's been actually, yeah, no, that one is not really that good. Very good for propagation. So leave that lying in the propagation pile. That was perfect. These are standing up really well. So I might just keep, oh, without breaking them, I might be able to just get away with putting this pile back into a pot because I really don't want to make them too thin. I can again in the future go and do this again. But these are looking gorgeous. I've got one leaf here that I might want to take out because that's hanging. So I'm going to propagate that one. Let's have a little look. I need to cut that off. We can propagate that one. Propagation. So this looks pretty good, which means I don't have to disturb the root ball too much more on this one. Do I have any more leaves? I have this one leaf here at the back that I think if I don't take that out, it's going to just flop. So we'll take that off. I might take this one off. Yeah, I'll take that one off. Make that into a new plant, came out easily. This now I'm going to keep together because I do want a bushy plant. So, what I need to do is get my terracotta pot, make me a little space here on my table that's full of dirt. Get my pot. Just going to put some of this soil back in the bottom because it's not bad soil. The plant's happy with it. And then see how deep I need to go to get this in there. I might need to cut off more roots. Yeah. So what I'm basically going to do is just peel away the soil with the roots here to be able to get this root ball into the new pot. Oh, this is just gorgeous. Oh, I love you. Right. Get that in. Now look at that. You can't see that I took anything off, right? It just looks gorgeous. Yes. That was a success, I think. Absolute success. All these roots and these ones have been disturbed the least. I have some extra soil that I'm going to put in. Let's see how we go here. Get my extra soil here. I've got some in the pot. Take that first. I need to use. Got my terracotta pot. Got my soil. Start filling up the pot, basically. Get this done. I have a leaf here that's falling. I might chop that leaf off, but we'll see. Give that a moment. This soil that I'm putting in now is dry. It's full of perlite. It's full of leca balls. Has a little bit of bark in it. So I've amended it so that it's a dryish kind of soil. It's got sand in it. Turn this around. See here how we're doing. Fill up around here. Fill up. As much as possible. Get it down around those roots. Got to get this plant to stand upright. So you can see this soil is dry. It's dusty as well, very dusty. So there's one plant ready to go. It's standing up. It's a lovely new terracotta pot that's not too big as you saw. Not much more extra space for this pot because it had a lovely root ball and the effect is absolutely amazing. This plant is standing up, looks gorgeous. So I can't wait to find a beautiful spot to put this one in. So that's done. So I can let this stand on the side while I get on with the next bits. Make a little bit of space on my side here. Get my bottom piece and let this stand there. Woo. Just like that. Something needs to be cut off here. So, for the sake of the camera, which is the best side? Look at this beautiful yellow on these leaves. Oh, this leaf is hanging out a little bit. I think I'm going to take that one leaf off because it's just going to start hanging more and more. So that one I'm just going to take off at the bottom. Another propagation, nothing goes to waste. And there, now we've got a better look. I've got another leaf here that I need to take off. So I can just go around now and just check. Those leaves that are hanging out too much, take off, propagate. This leaf is still okay in here. Ah, this is just a beautiful stand of Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii now. I don't feel like I need to do anything else with that. Look at her. It's gorgeous. And it literally stands up with no problem after repotting. That's exactly what I was looking for. So now I just want to quickly show you some of these rhizomes on these plants. Some are very small, like this one. Look at this. Not very much going on, but it's got roots, so there's no problem for this to be repotted. It will take off fine. And then there are some that have a lot more roots and soil still attached, and I won't touch that so that I don't disturb it too much. And then there's ones like this that have next to nothing, but it's still got roots. It's still viable. Put it in with all the others and it will flush out. And then I have some that look a little bit dehydrated. This one is a bit broken and dehydrated, but it should still survive because these are hardy plants. So here you can see I have so many beautiful examples. The only thing you need to remember to do is, if you've got the time and the patience and you're somewhere where it's not that warm, you need to let the plant callus over so that you don't get anything inside. The soil I'm using is bone dry, so I'm just going to put these back into the soil that I have prepared, and I will not be watering these plants for a couple of weeks. They will survive in that pot with that soil, and then they will have time to callus over in the soil with no extra moisture coming in, and we will see. They should do fine. But if you are worried, let your plants callus over and then go in and repot them. They can survive on the side like this for 3-4 days, even a week, not in direct burning sun, just somewhere where it's dry, shady, and they will be fine. So I wanted to show you this piece because this is really interesting. In that whole pot, I had only one part of the plant that was very dehydrated. Now this has roots and has been connected to other mother plants, but the leaves are completely dried out. And this has actually been infected by some insect, the only one. Some insect has been eating into the leaf. And I think that was because this part here is already damaged or has some kind of infection, or it became weak and then it got infected. But the rest of the whole pot has nothing on it. This is the only piece. So you can get a mixed result from one pot. I just want to show you that. You can get insects. I don't know what type this is. It's been munching away on the surface level of the leaf, into the leaf. So I'm not actually going to keep any part of these leaves. I don't want this getting in and affecting the other plants in any way. I will prune back, keep the rhizome, and plant that in a separate pot on its own and see if it flushes out fresh new leaves and carries on. So to let you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about if you propagate these leaves on the Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii, they are going to come out looking like a Dracaena trifasciata. This is part of the Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii I have behind me, but look at this leaf. It looks much more like a Dracaena trifasciata, but it's still got the yellow margin, but it's got more of that coloration of the original Dracaena trifasciata. So look at the difference. Same plant. They can come out in so many different patterns. But let me show you now what they look like once they've been leaf propagated. So here it is. This is my beautiful little plant here, and I did a video a while back now where I showed you how I pruned and propagated this plant and how it was looking and how I put it into soil once it started getting its roots, and then it's flushed out these beautiful Dracaena trifasciata baby plants here that are absolutely perfect. Now look at them. Beautiful plants, and there's two on this leaf here, and one on the other leaf, and you can see the original Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii leaf from my plants behind here, and this is the result. So today I'm going to remove these pups from these leaves here, put them in a lovely little terracotta pot so that they look gorgeous in their own right without the mother plants that have been sustaining them, that are now getting old, miscolouring, but they are fine. Look at that. That's fine. These leaves have done their job. This was actually just one leaf, and I got all of these pups out of one leaf. So look at the pile behind me now. I'm going to have endless plants. I don't know what I'm going to do with them all. So this shows you how easy it is to go in and water propagate and then soil propagate. Or I've started lately just putting them directly in soil. It seems to be easier that way. I've put them in my MarsHydro grow tent and left them in soil in there and let it dry out, watered, let it dry out, watered, and a new pup has just sprung up on some of my other types of Dracaenas I have, my other Sansevierias. So I'm really pleased about the result of this. So yeah, I'm going to make this look beautiful now in this video. So I just wanted to show you that is what the leaves will come out like. They won't come out like this, just so you keep that in mind. So let's get on with replanting this plant. I'm going to backfill with some of the same soil from the pot that these plants were in. They were happy in that soil. It's worked well. I can see that soil has got perlite in it. I can see it's got slow releasing fertilizer and whatever else in it. And my plants have been very happy with that. I'm just going to mix it with a little bit of my new soil and I will be done with it. This plant is not that fussy about the soil as long as it's well draining and aerated, because otherwise it will get bogged down and rot out. So please do not overwater these plants, but subsequently don't leave your plant on the side for 3 months without water either, because they won't like that. They will get dehydrated, as you've seen on some of these leaves here and these rhizomes. And then the roots that are so thin and tender, as you've seen on these as well, will just dry out and crisp off. And then the plant has no roots to be able to absorb any water that comes. And then it will also just rot out once you water it. So a good balance. Water this plant during the summer. I water them every other week or so. During the winter, you can leave them for a much longer period, a month. But it depends on the lighting and so forth. Where I'm living, the light's so extremely low that these plants don't need that much. But I've noticed that I have actually underwatered some of them and seen some of my plants becoming dehydrated in the leaves. And that's around about a month, and that is in the winter time. So you just need to keep an eye. They could still need water every 10 days or so, but do not saturate them through. Just give them enough around the stems. Watch the water go down and let it just sink down to maybe around 2 inches, 3 inches. Doesn't have to cover the whole pot. You can do that in the summer. You can give it a good soak in the summer a couple of times, especially if you're going to put it somewhere where there's more light eventually, and that would be perfect. So let's get on now with planting my second bundle of this beautiful, beautiful plant. Right, some of this in the bottom, as I said, first. Some of my new soil, some of this soil, some of my new soil. Mix that together. So I've got my bottom, my base, and then get your leaves in. I've got so many beautiful leaves and plants. I want to get the tallest ones in the middle. This one is just so lovely, isn't it? This one, put them in so I know that they're going to be close together and that they can stand up. Have a look, there's a lovely big one here. Wrap that around that one. There we go. Another beautiful big tall leaf on this one. That one's going to go there. That is just gorgeous. And I've got my special one there that I want to keep on its own. There's a lovely big leaf here. I'm going to have that going inwards because it's not exactly straight, but that's going to be fine like that. Give it a little bit of interest. And that one's dehydrated, don't want that. This one is floppy, that's going to be also be propagated. I've got this little one that's dehydrated, really, don't want that either. This one, and these thin ones, they're also fine. I just dropped one on the floor, but I'll probably do something else with that later then. That's fine. This one's got a different patterning, and I'm wondering if well, yeah, I'm just going to put it in there anyway. That's going to go in there. Why not? What have I got left? I've got my special one, want to keep that. How's this one? This one's got no roots, but this leaf could make it fine as well. Put that in there somewhere if it can stand up. If it can stand up. Otherwise, I don't want to put it in there. So, I've got a good bunch here. And the rest are basically propagations, I think. So this is another lovely plant I've got going on here. Let's fill it up. Some of this soil, some of this soil, this soil. Just mix it. Oh, this is so nice. This is so dry, this soil I'm using, seriously. Some of this soil. Turn it around. Oh, so get them mixed together. Just like that. Get that in, press it down, make sure the plant is tight in its pot. Some of this soil again. I'm not wasting anything, using everything, recycling everything. This soil is fine for these plants. And as I said, this plant had no disease, so I'm not worried about that either. And because I'm planting it quite close to the middle together here, it's got space to grow out pups around the edge and fill out this little pot itself. And it should be absolutely fine. This leaf actually, I planted it the wrong way. It's leaning out a little too much compared to the others, but I could maybe put it in around one of the others like this. Yeah, then it's in. That's fine. And there we have it. Plant number 2, done. Love it. So there we go. My plant has been split into 2. These plants look lovely. They are going to take off and pop out and fill up these pots probably in no time. I have got my special one here that I really like. I'm going to put in a pot on its own in a minute. And then I have countless, as you can see here, countless propagations that I don't know what I'm going to do with right now. And I have bits of rhizome that I'm going to keep and put in separate pots as well and let them just grow out as they want to. So, before I get on with taking out my Dracaena trifasciata from their mother leaves and putting them into a lovely little pot, I'm just going to clean off this table a little bit so I can have these beautiful plants here flanking my table while I get on with the next thing I want to show you. And that is going to be soil propagation and some water propagations of these beautiful leaves on this plant. So, as I said, I wanted to have my beautiful new plants flanking the sides of me here as I work with the rest of my cuttings and propagations that I've taken from these beautiful plants. So these are standing up, no support needed, absolutely gorgeous. Look how tall they are. And I can put them into wonderful places in my house and my cottage now, and I'm really looking forward to that. And while I was tidying up, I also went in and planted my one unique leaf here with all the streaks in it that I think is absolutely beautiful into a terracotta pot all of its own. And that can pop out and I'll see how those leaves look with that plant, if they look like the rest, or if they carry on getting lovely, beautiful, unique leaves. But I love that leaf, so I've kept that in a pot on its own. Gorgeous. And over here on the side, I have all of my propagation leaves in a pot. I will be leaving these in here for a while till I figure out all the different things I want to do with them. But as I said, I will be placing some of these in water propagation to test in my east-facing window where there's the brightest light to see if that will help to stimulate roots without rotting. But most of these leaves I'm going to be cutting up into segments and placing directly in soil in a terracotta pot in my MarsHydro grow tent with the grow light on, and it's very warm in there, and I can water them and they will dry out, water, dry out, and they should flush out roots and new lovely little pups without getting any kind of rot because the water won't be able to stay there for very long. I know this can work because I've done it before and I have an example of that I want to show you now. So let me bring that in for a closer look here. So here's my example of that. This was one leaf on my Dracaena trifasciata Futura Superba. So the leaves do not get as big and long and tall as on the trifasciata. So they get thicker with time, but look, they pupped out. I put it into a terracotta pot with the same kind of soil as I spoke about before, very dry soil. And after a month, I think around about a month or just over a month, they pupped out. They've been in there now a couple of months, but they pupped out these two pups, both parts of the leaves that I put in this soil. I've just been watering and they've been completely drying out, completely drying out, and they have pupped out, had no problem with rot due to drying out in between, but it hasn't affected them. They've had the light in my MarsHydro grow tent, they've had the heat, and they have loved it. Look at these pups. So now again, you can see the pups come out the normal trifasciata color and not this color with the yellow streaking on the leaves. But that is so cute. So that is my plan for most of those leaf propagations that I will be making. So right, the first thing I want to show you now is pulling out these beautiful little pups from these mother leaves in this plastic pot they've been in for a long time and they've loved it. But I don't want these leaves on here anymore. They're not needed and it's not making the plant look happy and healthy, right? I want it in a beautiful little pot here with just my Dracaena trifasciatas. So let's get the soil out from around these leaves. I want to make as little mess as possible this time. As you can see, I've tidied up to make it look nice. So shake that out as much as possible and see how we can separate them from the mother leaves here. Oh, there's a lot of roots in here. I can feel in this pot it's actually quite full up. Interesting. Yeah, here they come. Beautiful. Oh, the roots are absolutely amazing on this, I must say. Let's see, so I've got two plants, so I need to try and split the two plants so I can get in there, if I can. They're very wound around each other. These roots are absolutely amazing on these cuttings here. Maybe I can't, maybe I just need to, oh, look at this. The mother leaf is just peeling away from the pup very easily. Okay, I'll keep that there and I'll show you what happened with that. But I'm probably not going to be able to get the other mother leaf to just peel away as easily, maybe. Yes, I can. So look here, the mother leaf just seems to be peeling away easily enough. Yeah. So now I've got my little babies here. I'm going to disturb them as little as possible. So I just need to get some soil that I have behind me here. But actually they can stay in a lot of this same soil, but I'll add some new soil to the bottom. And then just put them in basically. I don't want to cut any of their roots or disturb them much more than that. I just want to put them in their little pot so that they look cute and happy. And that's it. This was an absolute success. So there they are. Get them to stand up a little bit. Soil around, more soil around them. There we go. Look at that. Some of their own soil. A bit of sand, grit. So there we go. Look at this beautiful little plant that I got out of my Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii. Now I have a beautiful Dracaena trifasciata and it looks gorgeous. 3 pups and they are going to carry on and bush out and fill out this pot and look absolutely gorgeous. I am so pleased with the outcome of this. Look at that. Aren't those leaves just jolly? They are white and green and just so beautiful. Really, I really think they're gorgeous. They're so white. They're so lovely. Just think that these came from this mother plant here around me. It's just amazing with plants, how they can change, how they survive, how they can be propagated. Oh, it's wonderful. And just to show how amazing this really is, if I go back, you can see this is the original mother leaf, one leaf of this bundle of joy behind me. that became that beautiful plant there, the trifasciata, and look at them. They're still alive. They are battered, they've done their job, but they've still got their original roots. Now go back and see that video when I pruned and propagated this plant. You won't believe it, it's amazing. I could just pop these back into a pot. They will carry on growing me new pups. They will go on and on and on. But I have so many now. Look at this pot full of all these. I really don't know what I'm going to do with all of this. Because if you can keep these that have been going on for months and months and months and produce lovely pups going, then I can make thousands of plants out of this. This has just been an amazing, wonderful experiment. I'm so glad that I've got this down because for the longest time, I couldn't get any of these propagations to root. They would just rot out for me straight away. But I found that the most important thing you must think of all the time is bright light on them, lots of heat on them, aerating soil, and if they're in water, the bright light and the heat. Make sure they're acclimatized if it's bright direct light, of course, so they don't burn out. But other than that, as much bright direct light that's not harsh as possible, and the warmth, and they will produce roots very, very quickly. Otherwise, it will be a slow process or they will just rot out. So I have this one leaf here. It has no roots on it, no rhizome, but this leaf can be propagated and it's actually a very beautiful leaf. It's very trifasciata style. But it's still got the lime green edging, so that's really interesting. So I'm thinking, well, basically, the thin part is always harder, I found, to get to grow out roots. It hasn't got much area on it. So I'm going to prune back here, just to show you this piece. And I could now go and put this in water. I have water behind me here. Either I can put it in water now, and hope for the best, that it doesn't rot out, or you can let this calice over for a couple of hours or a couple of days, depending on where you are and so forth. Just let it lie in a shady position and calice over, then you can put it in water or soil. For some reason, for me, where I am, if I let them calice over and then I put them in water, they seem to rot out. Now, this is the opposite of what many and most people will tell you, but it's just my experience, is if I put this straight into water like this, it will have a better chance if it's in a bright window and it has the heat. But for me, I'm going to be putting them in my MarsHydro grow tent where it's very warm in there and very bright, so I know they're getting the intensity they need so that they won't rot out in water. So that was my first leaf propagation. Now, if I wanted to make lovely, beautiful plants out of this, lots more, chop it up. So make sure the bottom part of where you prune is always that is facing down in the water or the soil, because that's where the roots will come out. If you put it upside down, it's not going to work out for you. So basically, I can show you a couple more. This one, it's not very thick down there, so I'm just going to chop that off, put that piece in the water, just like that. And I've got a lovely big one here. This one's very long and thin at the bottom, so I'm going to cut that right back to here. Okay, and then I've got this piece, but this one I'm thinking I'm going to soil propagate. I really like the thick yellow piece on the side of this stripe, and I like it that it's so thick. This is perfect for soil propagation, I think. Now, you can do the technique where people go in and you can make it like this, a V, like that. If you make a V, you have more area for roots to be able to come out when you put it in the soil. This one, I can see that the point is the top, so if I lay it down somewhere, I know the bottom side is the bottom. I can leave that straight, or you can do the V effect. It's up to you. They both work. So this one, I am going to pot up. So I'm going to make lots of V's, I think, with this one. Just like that. Another V. Just like that. Oh, I didn't V it enough. Just like that. And yeah, I think one more. Just like that. So now I have all these V's. I know the V is the bottom. I can get a lovely terracotta pot now, place all these in that pot, in my MarsHydro grow tent, and water, let them dry out, water, let them dry out. They won't get overwatered, and they should produce me lovely pups in no time. Within a couple of months, I would say, I should have pups on these in one pot. So I'm going to do that. That's very exciting. So that was to show you some of the different techniques you can use for propagating these plants. As I said, either let them calice over or put them straight into soil, put them straight into water, let them calice over. Very simple, very easy. It is and I cannot stress this enough, I keep saying it, I know in this video, but I have found from my experience, bright light, not harsh burning light, but bright direct light as much as possible, or bright indirect light, and heat. You need both those things to get these to root out quickly and efficiently for you. Don't forget that. So I'm going to carry on with all of this. I've had so much fun making this video for you people out there today. I have enjoyed splitting my beautiful big plant up, and I have two amazing examples here. My lovely specimen there, my babies that I showed you that I tried earlier from my Dracaena trifasciata Futura Superba that has popped out beautifully. My Dracaena trifasciata Laurentii that turned out to be a beautiful Dracaena trifasciata from one leaf, and the mother leaves are still viable to be able to prune up or use exactly as they are in another pot and produce more pups. So I can do that from all my cuttings now and just fill out pots and make them bigger and get me a beautiful specimen like this. I could not be more pleased. Easy, simple plant to keep alive and happy. Just let it dry out, water it, let it dry out, water it. Don't fuss about the soil, gardening soil. Mix it with sand, mix it with perlite, mix it with letterballs, put biochar in there, mix it together, and you will have a lovely aerated soil, which is the kind of soil that this plant likes because it doesn't like to retain too much moisture for too long, but also conversely doesn't want to be dry for too long either. Spray over your plants, check that they don't have any insect infestations on them. In certain areas in warmer countries and so forth, I know that you can get quite a lot of insects on them, but mostly in as a house plant in areas like here in Sweden where it's not that warm for most of the time, these plants don't get any pests. I had one leaf, and I think that leaf must have been infested probably from when I already bought it, and it hasn't spread to any other part of the plant in any way, so I was really pleased about that. That shows how resilient they are. Even the pests don't just spread all over the place all the time. And because there are so many leaves, so many rhizomes, you have so many separate plants that you can just take out the infested pieces and put the rest of the plant together, split up, or do whatever you want, as you can see here. So just have fun with this plant. I am going to have so many baby new plants that I am so excited about this. And that is the end of this video. So if you have any experiences or any tips or anything you want to share with me and others, please comment down below. If you have any questions to me, of course, comment down below. I really enjoy interacting with you, so thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for subscribing, all of you wonderful subscribers. I am so thankful for that. So from me, and also from my crystal skulls, I'm a crystal skull collector, so I have my wonderful moss agate skull here, I have my wonderful Rhizome jasper here, and I have my wonderful serpentine skull with me here. Love my skulls, they give me beautiful positive energy just as much as all my beautiful plants do. They all talk to me, they all interact with me, they all enrich my life, and I hope you're enriching your life with these wonderful elements of Mother Earth around you too. So, thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be coming up, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye!